Fried potatoes. All good?
The rain in Spain falls mainly in the plain.
Hello and welcome back to the couch for another quick episode of the Glory Days. I'm going to go for my 10-minute record here. Stu joining me on the couch again.
They're trying to drive it in numbers, and there they go. A nice support drive, and
we go.
Lone defender in
7:36. I'm clocking it in. David, welcome to the couch.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know. We got Stuart laying down on the job here, but you got to hone him in. I'll keep it short for you.
And joining me on my left, inspiration for the Glory Days, provided some of the attire from his 1990s Australian gold medal team campaigns, and now sporting the headband, and I might say, Stu, a fabulous beard, almost to rival Andrew Lumberjack, Canadian coach, Rowan Bridley.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. And boys, been watching Glory Days, been very impressed. It's been a pretty good outfit, looking on the couches. Laid-back Stu, he even looks more laid-back when he calls the games. Been seeing a few of those photos, and all the photos going out. It's been a really, really good comp. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, look, it's all coming together, so let's get stuck into some fixtures. I want to start with the under-19 men's division. Couple of really interesting games there today. So the French getting up 3-1 over New Zealand, Stu.
Yeah, surprising turnaround. If I was going to pick the team to win that game, I would probably erred on the side of the Kiwis. Just because they've been, performing across the board. But look, the Frenchies, to their credit, pulled out a really good match under a lot of pressure and managed to pull it off. So a lot of confidence for those guys moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget, like Castellon, this Kiwi under-19 boys team, put in something like 156 goals, didn't concede one 2 years ago. And then now we're here and they've gone down against GB and gone down against New Zealand, Rowan, and whether that's a show of just a different generation coming through, or whether the other countries have really lifted their game.
Definitely lifted their game. I watched the start of the French game after the Aussie games this morning when they played the Kiwis, and it was on. It was a real tough, grudge-out game, exactly like I just called the Argentinians Australian game. Just all these teams are flat on the bottom. There's, 5 players down. And you see a lot of the times there's actually only 5 players in each team. There's somebody on site, and they're still going for it. There's no holding back. So it's been really interesting. I think the French team are really surprising a lot. I think there's some big boys in there. You can see their physical size, but it's not saying that they're the strongest on the bottom. They're just relentless. They're just going at it. As I said to Dave in one of the games, there's a lot of testosterone in that water, and they're really going for it.
Yeah, there certainly is amongst those young men. And there's some very fit-looking young athletes in there, Dave. But for me, it's the GB boys that have been the real surprise. And then that game we've just watched then, GB and France, 0-0. It's been a long time since I've seen a 0-0 under-19s game.
That was really surprising. It was an exciting game. It's the first game where I've called where actually almost hoarse because it was just so exciting. End-to-end action. And as Rowan said, every time a player got sin bin and they were down to 5, that team showed the dominance over the other team. And relentless, constantly, right down to the wire, right down to the last second, still in 0-0.
Yeah, huge game there. And look, you'll have to forgive me if you see me scratching my head a bit. I'm wearing my 50th anniversary Collie beanie donated by the Collie Underwater Hockey Club here, and so look, if you've got some headwear you want to donate to the Glory Days, feel free.
You're sporting that really well, mate.
Yeah.
Blue brings out your eyes.
Till the sweat starts dripping down my nose. So probably the upset of the day, Stu, Argentina 3-2 over the under-19 Aussie boys.
Look, well, I mean, congratulations to the Argentinians. What an amazing result. We all know how much work these guys have put in coming from South America all the way to Australia. A changing coaching direction with Sebastian Lugo, giving these guys a lot of good tips over the last year, and they've just executed an amazing game in there against a quality under-19 Australian men's team. And I know those Aussie boys are going to go back to the drawing board after that game because they were shell-shocked after that defeat to the Argentinians tonight.
Yeah, and they've certainly got to go and have a look at the board and figure out what's going on. But boy, do they know how to celebrate, and was that a big occasion for them, Razor?
It was a great game. I called that with Alfredo, is it? Yeah, and he it was just going the whole way through. The comments coming in, we're getting live streams from everybody in, and it was just great. But I tell you, it was like watching a soccer match. The crowd and the guys over there, it was that loud, and when they won, it was just fantastic. And I actually had a game against those boys when they first turned up here in Tassie at the beginning of the week. And they were losing the puck, they were fumbling, and and we actually pretty badly towed them up. And I thought, my God, I hope we haven't sent them off. But I tell you what, that today, totally different team. They on the bottom. Double teaming. It was just great. It was great to watch. It was a really good game, actually.
Yeah, they're starting to find some discipline and keep some numbers in the water. And, I think Sebastian Lugo doing a great job there. Argentina, one of our biggest viewership, Stu, making up 17% of our viewers to date. And they've watched over 50,000 minutes of hockey.
Yeah, muy bien, los argentinos. And I'd like to just say congratulations to all those guys across the other side of the world for really supporting this comp. Whenever they can. Obviously, it's basically the opposite time zone to us here, one day behind. So a lot of those people are staying up late and getting up early in the morning. God knows how they're doing, but thank you very much for all the support from over there in the South Americas.
Yeah, so I'll skip over to the under-23 men's now. Probably the two main games there today. South Africa getting up 2-1 over GB in what was a really close-fought match. And then the Colombians getting over the Australians 2-1 this afternoon, Dave.
Yeah, look, that again was an exciting match. There was end-to-end action. The Australians were pressing hard in the closing minutes, but unfortunately came up a bit short. And I think, I think you hit it when I talked to you afterwards, Nick. It's just that conversion rate. I think if the boys could string those passes together and work stronger together and in numbers, they would come good. But they got some work to do, and the Colombians will be pretty happy after that one.
Yeah, look, they were absolutely stoked, and I think it's the first time they've knocked us in that division. So, congratulations to them. They're playing a really good brand of hockey. I'm really enjoying playing against them. They're getting numbers down and spreading that puck. So, look, the boys have just, despite it being a home Worlds, we've got a really young team this year, and I think they are starting to come together. And it's going to be good. I really hope we get to have another game against them because it is great hockey, and I really enjoyed coaching and watching that one. So. The other game, I already talked about that one. So let's go. Under-19 women's division was pretty much business as usual, with no teams really winning outside of their ladder rankings. Everyone just sort of ticking it over. But in the under-23 women, there were a couple of interesting games in there. The French, for me, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yesterday, knocked over by Argentina. Today, only losing by a goal to South Africa, who's sporting a lot of the elite women from Castellon and a few of the under-19 world champs from last year, Stu.
Yeah, look, I called that game, and the French actually looked the goods in the first half. They went a goal up, and the South African ladies really had to dig deep. They had to absorb a lot of attacking pressure applied by the French ladies. And credit to the South Africans for coming back. I don't know what their coach Brent Borslop told them, but it definitely worked. The South Africans put a couple of goals in and basically just managed to hang on there. The French ladies didn't give up the whole time, so credit to both teams, and the South Africans will be very happy with that win today.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to see they came over here with Sarah Cuvier as their coach, and they've recycled about 4 or 5 coaches through the French coaching box, and I wonder how that's affecting the team, Rowan.
Yeah, it's a hard one to call. I mean, when you have to do those sort of things, could be anything, any reasons. It's the same as well as, like, I've been watching some of the teams, like I think I was watching one of the Canadian teams there, and they've only got 3 guys on the bench. And so when you're playing like that and you've only got, you're playing more hours, more time on the bench. So it'll be interesting to see. I think South Africa always set up good hockey. I think they always very drilled in the way they play. So I reckon they've got set plans in there, and it doesn't matter what coach comes in. I think it's basically if they only have to change minor things, they'll stick to their game plan.
Yep.
Right, we've only got 2.5 minutes here, Dave, so we're going to keep this rolling. The other game, great win for the Aussie ladies there, 1-0 over GB in the under-23 women's.
Another nail-biter, Nick. It came down to the wires. It was awfully close there in the last 2 minutes. There were players going in every direction. They were heading to the sub-bench. They were also heading to the sed bin. And it wasn't just one team dominating in there. There was middle action and pressure on one end, pressure on the other one. It was good to see the Aussies come out the goods on this one. Well-deserved wins for the girls, and I hope they celebrate. But look, their work isn't done. We got another couple of days of games, and then we sort of head into that pointy end of things.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll throw you some stats now, guys. They are the top watched 3 videos. We've got game number 16, men's 23, French and Turkey, 12,870 minutes watched. Ooh. Game number 8, men's 19, GB versus Colombia, 11,208 minutes watched. And game number 12, women's 23, Colombia versus Great Britain, 10,868 minutes watched. Colombia making up 18% of our viewership, Argentinians 17%, and the Australians 16%. 27% of our audience is in the 18 to 24-year-old bracket, which is an interesting one to see there. We've now had a total of 268,951 minutes of hockey that's been watched up to yesterday morning. That's 186 days and 18 hours worth of viewing with over 36,000 views. Now, if we could grab 50 cents out of every one of you 36,000 views, we would knock our $10,000 total out of the park. So if you're enjoying the stream and you're enjoying the Glory Days, then please jump on the donation page and help us cover the cost of what we're putting on here.
There's obviously a lot of work internet being used there in those time overs too, I reckon. So I reckon a lot of people aren't really watching or doing a lot of work. They might be actually watching a lot of hockey, I reckon.
Yeah, come on, 50 cents, everyone. Let's
definitely
go. It's a small match. These guys here on the couch, including myself, are breaking our neck to make sure we bring you a quality live stream, and Nick and his team in the background. In that box there behind us over the shoulder, sometimes there's 20 people in there making sure it all comes out to a quality feed for you guys.
And I think the other point to make out there for all of you guys watching around the world is that we're not asking you guys to pay us with those donations. We're basically collecting that money for the sport of underwater hockey. And rest assured, this streaming service is going to be used at a lot of other international competitions in the future, and that money will go a long way into ensuring that that becomes a reality. And to put it another way, if you donate $1 every second game you watch, we will make $28,000 on the current statistics. So come on, guys, just dig a little into your pockets and give us some of your pocket change, please.
And look, that's all going to covering the cost of the equipment. It's all volunteer hours, and it all goes back into developing junior underwater hockey. Facebook page, we've now cracked 180,000 in our reach this week, and we've nearly hit the 2,000 followers. So, look, it's really coming along well, guys. So, Razor, any messages for the hockey fans or the players out there?
Oh, yeah, I'd just like to say beat Isaac to the Glory Days here. I think he's been pretty keen to have his head out here, so I'll just wipe that one back in him. He'll be pissed off that I'm here, but sorry about that. But
if he gets a haircut, mate, I'll have him on the couch.
Yeah,
Shaved on Glory Days.
I'll try and get him to do that. But, Nick, fantastic competition you've organised here. I'm an old hat. I think I have featured all your uniforms that you've been wearing. But, yeah, definitely Glory Days is perfect switch for this, and one of the best comps I've seen. And, you know, I've been around and seen a lot, but it's really well done. So, you know, congratulations, mate.
Here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the couch, mate, and thanks for the praise, Dave. Message for everyone out there?
Yeah, keep watching, keep those chats going, and as Stewie
Damn
said,
it, Stu.
50 cents.
Damn it, don't laugh at me.
Don't give it over to Stu. Sorry, we're out of time. Sorry, Stuart.
We're well over time.
No, we're not. We've just cracked 11 and a half minutes.
Look, finally, I'd just like to give a shout out to the jowls that Rowan's sporting, and the way that the long hair that he's sort of combed back there and to the side is sort of flowing past his headband, down through his jowls, and then into that very good volume that he's collecting underneath his chin. He is definitely giving Andrew, the lumberjack Canadian, a good run for his money here in the facial raccoon stakes.
Yeah, look, it's the mullet out the back too, hanging with it, that's really bringing it home. So, look, until tomorrow morning for some glory moments when we recap, when we have a look at the day's games coming up. Thanks to everyone for watching, and keep the support coming and keep the comments coming. We're really enjoying this reading and seeing what everyone's chatting along the side of the YouTube channel and on the Facebook and everything like that. And we'll keep the photos coming, and we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. So until then.
Glory Days.
Guys. Cheers,
Glory Days.